you to myself. I didn't want you around. These pretty faces always make you stand up in the crowd. Someone picked you from the dust. All right, Mike, what's going on, man? How the fuck are we? Jeez, this thing is still. I can't get rid of this thing yet. I've tried all sorts of creams and shit. Fucking on me, good. I don't know what it is. I must have got bit by something because I thought I got, but I don't know. I thought I caught it. Something must have got me. I didn't realize it until I just looked. I have been wearing long sleeves all day. I don't really have anything to start, to be honest. I come here with nothing, zero to bring to the table today. Damn, this shirt. Oh, this shirt looks a little bit. Looks like I've been working out a little too much. Either that or I got fucking. I don't know, man. But anyway, I really don't have anything. It was a long weekend. Tell the Cubs to start. What do you mean the Cubs? I don't know anything about the Cubs. What are the Cubs doing? I long weekend. I told you guys everything I said about the Knicks. What I said was spot on. The Knicks are not losing another game in that series. I'm upset. Not necessarily upset. Upset wouldn't be the right word, right? I would say more along the lines of, very inconvenient that I will be on a flight tomorrow during the Knicks game. I'm actually trying to move my flight up currently. Let me just move this up. I'm currently trying to move my flight up a couple hours. When I originally booked it, it was convenient. It was the time I needed to leave. It was the time I had to get out of here. But now I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. So once the doctor's appointment's over, I got nothing. I literally got nothing going on. So we'll see. I hate that I'm going to be in the air. Like, more than likely I'm going to be in the air for the game. But the good thing is, if you fly, Knicks win. If you change the flight, they lose, calling it. The Knicks are not going to lose tomorrow. I don't know. If you saw Game 4, Game 5 is tomorrow. I have nothing to worry about. I am not so unbothered by the Atlanta Hawks. I'm so unbothered by any idea of the Knicks not winning this series. I'm chilling. I'm not worried even one bit about the New York Knicks. That was like a dominant. They flexed their muscles. They did everything they had to do. I feel great about the Knicks. Cancel the parade for your Mets. It's early. It's very early. Now, here's a good thing. Obviously, I'm flying out of JFK. I'm flying out of New York. Shout out. Every airport in New York sucks ass. I'm not going to lie. I was going to say JFK is the better airport, but it's really not right now. They're both miserable. JFK, LaGuardia. I'm flying out of JFK, so at least the hope is that I'm going to have Knicks fans on my flight, where we can at least all watch the game and there'll be like a little bit of energy on the flight. Who knows? So that should be fun. I've never been on a flight for a big game like that, so I don't know how shit like that works. Mets come back and win the division. 162 games. See, Ardell, I'm with you on I think the Mets are far from dead. I think if I was a Phillies fan, I'd be far more worried. The Braves are a team that have started out hot. The Braves look better than they have in years past, but they haven't played anybody yet. I don't think the Braves are running away with this division by any means. I think the Mets have their ability. The Mets have the chance to turn the season around. There's plenty of time left. Nathan says the Braves own the Mets because Nathan knows literally nothing about anything. The Braves are not that good. The Mets haven't been fully healthy. They've played, 5 games this year with Soto and Lindor both healthy. Jorge Polanco can't even fucking move yet. There's plenty of season left. This Mets team is far from dead. Listen, again, I understand the Mets are the talk of the town. The Mets are the talk of everywhere. It's always Mets, 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 Mets. Everybody knows everything about the Mets. I could give two shits about whatever other teams you root for. Again, Nathan Manning saying anything about my team usually makes me feel better about it because that's somebody right there, Nathan. Your opinion is always 99.9% of the time you're off on your opinion. So I've actually never felt better about the New York Mets than right this minute. Mets look good no matter what because of the Jets. I don't think that's the case. I don't think that works out. The Mets just can't hit right now. From a 1 year perspective, from last year, the Mets pitching is what was their downfall a year ago. This year, it's been the complete opposite. The Mets pitching is keeping them in games. Their pitching is keeping them alive. They just can't hit right now. Stop making excuses for your Mets. It's not an excuse. It's just fact of the matter here, Mike. The Mets have not been healthy, not even close. They've missed 2 of their 3 best hitters for a majority of this season. They will be fine. Give it time. Again, I know you want the Mets to be dead because let's be real. If the Mets make the postseason, your Dodgers are in trouble. Everybody knows that. He's always defending the Mets. Yeah, I mean, Nate, I don't give 2 shits about what the Yankees are. I don't. You're making this a fucking city thing. I don't care. I genuinely don't care. It's not about the Mets being better than the Yankees. The Yankees have nothing to do with the Mets. 0. Nothing whatsoever. I don't give 2 shits about the New York Yankees. It does not matter. That's not the fucking standard we're holding ourselves to. That's not the standards they hold themselves to. Seems like you care a lot about what? I care about what? The Mets? Yes, I care about the Mets. Do I think they're dead? Absolutely not. It's ridiculous to think that. It's too early in this season. It's too early looking at this roster. Jesus Christ. Sorry, this Orlando-Detroit game has been unbelievable. But with the Yankees, I don't care. No, the Yankees don't bother me. The Yankees can be as good as they want. In fact, the Yankees are a good baseball team. I said it before the season. I think that Yankee team is so far beyond better than everybody in their division. They should have that division wrapped up by like the beginning of September. I don't care about the Yankees at all. Literally none whatsoever. It's always this weird thing. Everybody tries to make it a battle. The Mets don't need to be better than the Yankees. They don't. That has nothing to do with anything. Mike C. riding high on the Dodgers, and I can't blame him. Yeah, well, the thing with Mike is, like, he cares so much about the Mets. He cares more about the Mets than his own team. Closet Yankee fan? Not even remotely. No, I like the Mets. I don't like it. Like, I love my team. I don't give 2 shits about any other team except the ones we're racing for the postseason with. Like, I am a firm Mets fan. There's no, hey, I root for this team, too. I think that's the dumbest shit ever when you're like, oh, well, this is my American League team, or this is my National League team. No, I love the Mets. I don't give 2 fucks about anybody else except the teams we're fighting for the postseason with. Like the Braves, like the Nationals, like the Marlins, and everybody else in the National League for that matter. I don't care. It's like, it's not something that bothers me one bit. AL and NL teams are for posers. Having more than one team is ridiculous. I have you on in the background of the Pistons game instead of the commentators. I appreciate that. I got that game on. I've been flying all around the place, but I just left my remote on the TV. So, I mean, I left my remote on the TV on the couch, so I can't change the channel on my TV right now. Maybe in a little bit. Maybe I'll get up. I'm too locked in right now. So are hyphenated names. Pick one, motherfuckers. Rogers Cromartie, pick one. That's an interesting take there. Hyphenated names. You know, I think for some people, you know, the hyphens are like a nice tribute to both parents or both families. Like, if your parents are split up, but my parents were split up, I was never going to hyphenate my last name. I'm kind of with you on that. I understand why people do it. I also understand why, you know, why it would be ridiculous. Why can't you just admit your Mets are in trouble? Because it's fucking April 27th, Mike. It's April 27th. That's why I'm not admitting it. Do they look good right now? No. Absolutely not. It's absolutely like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, hey, I'm really happy with what the Mets are doing. No. But do I think they're dead? No. They haven't been fully healthy for 1 day this year. Chris Douglas Roberts. It's a good pull. God, I want the Knicks to win a chip. Pork chop, I'm with you. I don't think the Knicks lose another game in that series. Space Cowboy, what's up? The Braves look good again. Look at who the Braves have played to start this year. They have played a whole lot of hot garbage to start this season. And look, they're taking care of business. It's not the Braves' fault that that's the case. It's just early, and they haven't played a single team that I could see in the postseason this year. Who would you rather have, Cat or Kristaps? Karl-Anthony Towns by a country mile. It's not even remotely close. Kristaps Porzingis is not on the level of Karl-Anthony Towns. That's not even a debate. Ew. Wow. Your turn, Fley. What's my turn? Oh, for what? People that have like hyphenated names? I mean, Rogers Cromartie's a good one. Chris Douglas Roberts is a pull that I haven't. That's a name I haven't heard. That's, of course, Memphis Tiger legend, Chris Douglas Roberts. I don't know. Towns or Gobert? Still Karl Anthony Towns. Like, I think one of the biggest issues for the Knicks has been the defensive, the paint, like Porzingis is a way better defender, though, so maybe for this current... No. Kristaps Porzingis is not on the level of Karl Anthony Towns. I don't care how good of a defender Kristaps Porzingis is. He is at no point on no roster in the NBA a better option than Karl Anthony Towns right now. Listen, Ardell, I don't know if you haven't been paying attention. I mean, maybe for his money, sure, but Karl Anthony Towns has been... He might be the best player in this series other than CJ McCollum right now. He has been carrying the Knicks. He's been playing out of his fucking mind. Kristaps Porzingis is not on the level of Karl Anthony Towns. He's not a better shooter than Karl Anthony Towns either. Come on, pork chop. Let's not get ridiculous here. Fley, I'm back. It's still fuck the Knicks. Coop, you're dead. Your Hawks are dead. You might as well give up on this series. Stop watching basketball. It's over. If Cat was so good, why did he get traded? Because they had to get rid of salary. It was a good fit for both sides. Look, Julius Randle's a fine player. They got a lot in return. Tingus Pingus always hurt. Also, not that good of a basketball player. I think you were looking at this emotionally. Not at all. No. Kristaps Porzingis versus Karl Anthony Towns, it's not even close. It's not even, like, it's not an argument. It's ridiculous to even put... The fact that I'm even entertaining the idea that you could put those two guys in the same sentence is so disrespectful to Karl Anthony Towns. Kristaps Porzingis is a fine basketball player. But Karl Anthony Towns is so far and beyond better. Like, don't insult... You're insulting your own intelligence, even bringing them into the same conversation. Where were you when the Mets lost their 12th straight? I was watching the Knicks. I was busy with my New York Knicks who are going to win a championship. That's what it is. Like, you guys are just insulting yourselves. It is. Look, and Coop's a big Hawks fan. He's been watching what Karl Anthony Towns has been doing this series. The second half of the year... Listen, first half of the year, Karl Anthony Towns was not very good. Something hit with him halfway through this season. Karl Anthony Towns is legitimately the best shooting big man of all time. And that's not even me, like, saying that just to be ridiculous. I'm pretty sure statistically he's the best three-point shooting big man ever. No, he is. Ardell, statistically, I'm pretty sure percentage-wise, nobody has a better three-point shot than Karl Anthony Towns for any center of all time. I'm pretty sure that's a stat. If it isn't, it's changed recently because at least when he was in Minnesota. Now, obviously, talent-wise, there's better shooters, but in terms of actual statistic, if we're talking about, Karl Anthony Towns is number one, I'm pretty sure. And that's statistically speaking. That's not even me trying to be like ridiculous to the point. Now, is he the most skilled shooter big man of all time? No, I'm absolutely not trying to say that. Statistically, it backs up. SGA, what's going on? I will not be listening to disrespect of the big Puma, Karl Anthony Towns. I won't hear it. There's no way Cat has a better three-point percentage than Dirk. I'll pull up the numbers right now. Hold on. Fuck. I fucked up again. Oh, I got to pull my camera for a second because I fucked up my screen. We'll pull the numbers up. Because I would almost guarantee that Karl Anthony Towns is a better shooter all the time. Hold on. I had to plug my camera because my screen popped off. Hold on. Give me a minute. We're going to disable. Nope, that's not it. Where is it? Sorry, guys. I know I'm frozen. Don't worry. And we're activated. All right. Let me pull this up real quick. Karl Anthony Towns. Career stats. And we'll pull this up with Dirk Nowitzki. Career stats. In other news, did anybody see the fucking the Jeopardy guy went down tonight? That was pretty nuts. Just something else. Yes, Karl Anthony Towns is a better career three-point shooter of all time. Karl Anthony Towns, 39.7% career. Dirk Nowitzki, 38% career. It's fact of the matter. Postseason, Dirk Nowitzki is a 0.5% better career three-point shooter. But if you want to add it all up, Karl Anthony Towns clearly a better three-point shooter than Dirk Nowitzki. Not even close. It's a full percentage point better. In terms of the postseason, yeah, you're right. Dirk shot better in the postseason, but I mean, we got a bigger sample size in the regular season. It's not even really that close. I went to the doctor's office, got my first HPV shot. Most feminine center as well. I don't care. He could be as feminine as he wants. Like literally, he could be the most feminine guy of all, on the planet. I don't give a shit. That doesn't bother me. He's a great fucking basketball player. What's the playoff stats? Dirk has 0.5% better 3-point percentage all time. Let me see. I'm just curious to see like shot wise. Like attempts, I'm talking. They have that. Yeah, not that far off in terms of attempts. Cat will get smoked by most 90s centers: Shaq, Robinson, Ewing, Mutombo. I'm not going into this 90s talk again because none of these centers would be able to guard Cat either. Like, imagine Shaq having to go out to the 3-point line and try to guard fucking Karl Anthony Towns. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work whatsoever. 1.0, thanks for the 100. If Cat takes him to the chip, no shit can be taught. Yeah, listen, obviously. Look, I'm not sitting here saying Karl Anthony Towns is a better basketball player than Dirk Nowitzki. Nobody said that. In terms of all time, I'm pretty sure big men, he's the best 3-point shooter ever. Unless somebody recently has passed that. You can't compare errors. You're right. Mutombo was a good defender from the wing. He had an 8-foot wingspan. Dikembe Mutombo was not going out to the 3-point line and stopping Karl Anthony Towns from the 3-point line. Pork chop, I'm not doing this with you. It's a ridiculous argument. It's two different eras. Guys like Dikembe Mutombo stayed in the paint, guarded centers that never went anywhere near the perimeter. It's a totally different era. It's a different game. It's insane. Give me Jalen Brunson over everybody. Listen, Jalen Brunson struggled this postseason. Wemby may end up the best. Dude, Wembanyama is insane. Like, I cannot believe what Victor Wembanyama is doing. Like, you see what he's doing to the Trailblazers? Like, from everywhere on the floor, I can't believe what I'm watching. It's just, he's legitimately a created player in NBA 2K. He's 7 what? 7 what's his official height? I don't even know. But just a complete freak. He's probably going to be the greatest defensive player of all time. Maybe the best offensive player of all time by the time it's all said and done. If my Nuggets choke again, I'm smashing my neighbor's window. Dude, I can't believe the Nuggets lost that game. I cannot believe it. Mutombo played 20 seasons. His entire gig was defense, top 5 in steals all time. I don't know if Dikembe Mutombo was top 5 in steals of all time. But I'd go out on a limb saying he's not picking people's pockets on the perimeter. It's a different era. It's a completely different era. And I'm sick and tired of of trying to like deal with the argument. Oh, these 90s players they're not. They're absolutely like, it's a different game. The game has evolved entirely. Like, if you're a center and you don't have any ability to shoot outside the paint, you're pretty much useless in today's NBA. Now, would those guys probably work on their shots a little bit? I'm sure. I think like guys like Mutombo probably would have been in the gym all summer taking 3-pointers. Like, I love when Dikembe Mutombo, dude, the finger wag's the greatest, might be the greatest taunt in NBA history. There might not be one. Cat is him. I don't give a fuck if he's zesty. Exactly. Like, the fact that that's even something you bring up and, like, Ardell was like, yeah, that's true. Cat's zesty. Who cares? I want, when the zestier the better for me with Karl Anthony Towns. I'm almost done with Better Call Saul. Rest in peace, Howard. Spoilers. He is good. Him? Who? Oh, yeah, him is a crazy thing to say. I will say that. Who wants to have sex with Dikembe? Nobody. Jokic era is over, I'm afraid. Nikola Jokic has struggled in this series, and it's because of how good Rudy Gobert is defensively. We are seeing a side of Rudy Gobert that is so unbelievably ridiculous. Like, Rudy Gobert is playing with so much confidence. Even offensively, he's running around and acting different. David Robinson and Tim Duncan could guard the 3-point line. Like, Tim Duncan, like, a little bit. Yeah, Tim Duncan was kind of starting that era of, like, having to get out there. But I don't know. I don't think Tim Duncan, that was kind of towards the end of his career. He was still all right. Look at Brook Lopez. He's been in the league 16 seasons. Couldn't shoot for shit in Brooklyn. Now all he is catch and shoot. That's the thing. But Brook Lopez had great touch even early in his career. Like, you could see, Brook Lopez was a guy who was always pretty damn good around the rim. Like, I don't know. Same with Caleb Williams, painting nails but balling out. Do whatever you want. Karl-Anthony Towns, it doesn't bother me that he's zesty. In fact, when he is playing zesty, he's a fucking great player. The Knicks are going to choke the big one? No, they're not. Absolutely not. Fley's catching fire all street. Mets fire all street. It doesn't bother. It's not getting swept by the Rockies. Not great, Glassman. I'm not feeling good about that at all. But, again, it's April 27th. I'm not worried yet. I'm a little, it's concerning. I will say the fact that I think the biggest issue I have is that for some ungodly reason, Carlos Mendoza is still the manager of the Mets. There's really no reason to keep him around. The thing with Carlos Mendoza is it's his last year on his contract. There's literally no good reason that he should still be managing the New York Mets. It's ridiculous. Miles Turner, underrated or overrated? That's a good question, Pork Chop, because I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's fair to say that people underestimate him. Miles Turner's another one. I think he's one of the greatest three-point shooting big men of all time. But he was a great defender early in his career. He kind of fell off. It's weird. I don't even know how to answer that question. The Mets are done. No, they're not. The Mets are not done. It's April 27th once again. You look different from your grinder pictures. Is crazy. Who's zestier, Bosch or Cat? It's Cat. It's not even close. I love the Geico commercial where Mutombo starts smacking things out of people's hands. Yeah, Dikembe Mutombo, like I said, the finger wag, phenomenal. Alex Cora really got cut before Mendoza, which is crazy. That's incredible to me because I think the bigger issue with the Boston Red Sox is their roster is fucking garbage. I think they did a terrible job of building that team. You trade Rafael Devers so that Alex Bregman could be your full-time third baseman, and then you don't even fucking make any effort to keep Alex Bregman around. It just a terrible job by the front office, with the Boston Red Sox. It's amazing. They need to clean house this offseason. I don't even know who their GM is. Is it fucking Scheim? Would you want to drive around Shaq on the three-point line and get a hip check? Would you want to drive around Shaq on the three-point line? Are you saying if Shaq was guarding the three-point line? Yeah, sure. Shaq will get fucking 4 fouls by the time 3 minutes into the game. Mets roster is loaded on paper and they still play like shit. They've also not been healthy. They've been missing 2 of their 3 better hitters the entire season this year. The Braves have played nobody to start this year. I would be far more concerned if I'm a Phillies fan. The Phillies are entirely healthy, have everybody together right now, and are playing like dog shit. The Braves have played nobody yet. It is April 27th once again. Why did Bol not work out in the league? Could shoot, was quick, and could defend. He was not quick. Bol was not quick. I don't know where you got that idea. Cannot compare errors? You can't. It's hard. Can you show a picture of you dressed as a trans samurai? Anime gun. Bol, the thing with Bol was he was small, very small, didn't move very well, couldn't do anything in the paint. He was not that great of a shooter. He was he had some skills, but it didn't really compute well in the NBA. He wasn't that skilled where it was worth having him out there, I feel like, with Bol. He had a couple, decent months, but he just never really caught on. There's other guys like that, too. Who was the guy, the one guy, I can't think of his name. The Pistons had him for a while. Go Golden Knights. I'm sure the Braves would wipe the floor with the Rockies, though. Again, the Braves really haven't played anybody yet. I'm not worried. The Mets need to clean house. The Mets need to fire Carlos Mendoza. The fact they've completely changed the roster from a year ago. A roster a year ago that, if, you bring all these guys in and everything went wrong at the same time, there's one common denominator right now from a year ago, and that's Carlos Mendoza running the team. I think the Mets are going to be fine. There's plenty of season left. Don Maker, I don't remember his scandal. What was Don Maker's scandal? I don't know anything about this, but I couldn't think of his name. Bol showed flashes with the Nuggets when we drafted him. He just wasn't consistent. He wasn't consistent enough to keep him on the floor, and he was a defensive liability. There was a video that you made with your friends where you were singing "Going to You." Yeah, I was at my friend's place for that game. What a night, dude. We were fucking that was electric. That Knicks game was so nice and so calm that the Knicks just stepped on the gas and ran away. I feel very good about the Knicks right now. Thoughts on Texas Tech quarterback entering gambling rehab? I got a bunch of thoughts on this one, Glassman. First of all, it's a sign of the problems going on in sports where, especially in college, man, there's so many college athletes that you have to think there's somebody at all times gambling on games. I think it's a sign like of being careful of what you're betting on because well, also the Texas Tech quarterback wasn't betting like he wasn't point shaving or anything. So that's one thing. Hold on. Okay, I just got a breaking news thing, but it was just it was a baseball related thing. It's not good for the sport. Like it's like you know, like I said with Texas Tech score, I can't think of his name, Sorber or whatever. Obviously, he wasn't betting like he wasn't point shaving. He wasn't doing anything like that. But it just shows that like these people, these guys who are going to college, these people who are getting to college age, I like these people who are turning 18 years old and have the opportunity to gamble. And it's not really just an issue of these athletes. It's the fact that kids are getting locked into this gambling stuff and have no idea what they're really doing. What was the song that you made? Smile. Yeah, Go New York. It's a song from back in the '90s. These young men really need help in the law to get this shit under control. It's not good for society. Ardell, exactly what I'm talking about. It literally what you beat me to it. Don Maker was 10 years older. That's not surprising. He always looked pretty old. 100%. Ardell, the problem isn't necessarily it's the athlete. The problem is that these kids have the accessibility when they turn 18. I've told stories. I'm in the locker room at my gym, and I can hear these kids talking about like, oh, I threw in this fucking parlay tonight, and they're in high school. Like these kids are literally in high school. Once you turn 18, first things first, I think gambling, if they're going to keep it legalized, I think you should be maybe 25 before you can start betting on sports legally. I think it's ridiculous that you're getting high school age kids in on it. They're being hooked by early wins. They're being set up. It's predatory. I'll die on that hill. Well, yeah, absolutely. And the problem is all these sports books, you see these sports books, you see these plugs, dude. The worst, it's for adults and it's to be insanely regulated. Start gambling young, better odds, you hit the big one. Okay, that's funny. But I think for one, they should be teaching in schools. I will die on this hill that schools, high schools, should be teaching about gambling because these kids have no idea what they're doing when they get there. Like, there's so many apps, there's commercials every 10 minutes, and these kids are getting fucking roped into gambling immediately. Like, it's fucking terrible. You gamble, you really have no idea what you're doing. It's true. I thought I knew a lot about sports before I started betting on them. You really don't know anything. You really don't know shit. How do you make the thumbnail with your shades? It's ChatGPT, SGA. You just type it in. Give them a picture of yourself, describe what you want. Kids in high school should be taught about gambling. We're taught so many fucking stupid things in high school. Like, why the hell did I need a fucking, hey, here's how you're going to bake cookies in high school? Fuck that. Show me, like, gambling. Show me how to do my taxes. Show me all this shit. It's modern version of cigarette ads. 1,000,000%. It's so bad. How obviously scripted these games have become after sports gambling is prominent. Well, yeah, absolutely. I think it's like, there's a point to it where you could see, like, you want to see one? DeAndre Ayton last night. And, like, let me tell a quick story about last night. DeAndre Ayton at halftime, his over-under in points was 19.5, and he had 15, right? Or 21.5, I think it was, and he had 17. And I was looking at it, I'm like, this is a ridiculous line. I almost took it. I was like, I don't know, something about this feels weird that, like, his number is only 21.5. He got ejected 3 minutes later for a play that he should not have been ejected on. Let's be real. Like, listen, should DeAndre Ayton should have got a flagrant one last night? 100%. Should he have been ejected? No. I firmly think that the books made the call. Something happened where he could have been ejected, and he got ejected. Honestly, companies and leagues make gambling all fun and games. They need to be held accountable. Absolutely. Like I said, I don't think you should be able to gamble until you're like 25, maybe even like 27, dude. Like, Wisdom, am I wrong? Did anybody else see that? I looked at the line. I'm like, there's something wrong with this, and I didn't touch it because I'm like, there's something really fishy about this line. 21.5. I think he ended with 21 and got ejected. I'm sure I wasn't the only one that saw it. But like I said, kids should be taught gambling. It should be something taught in high schools. Like, not necessarily here's how to do a parlay, but like, hey, like, your odds, like, your actual fucking probabilities of everything. We should live bet the Magic or Pistons. I'm good. I had no idea what to think on this game. I will not be betting on this game. I didn't bet on anything tonight, actually. I just decided not to. Gambling is for degenerates. Gambling's a hobby. Gambling is something that degenerates get caught up in. But if you could keep it as a hobby, you could keep it as something fun, it's fun. But I will not be betting on this game. I genuinely hated every game tonight because I had no idea what was going on. This game was the most confusing one to me. But I'm going to watch it as like a basketball fan. Is that you, Fley, wearing the Knicks shirt? You're a wrestling ring? Yes, that is me. That's what they created. But like I said, gambling, it's horrible for kids. The fact, what do you think these big, what do you think of big snakes as pets, like Burmese pythons? I think if you want to have a Burmese python in your house, like, the more power to you. I got a buddy I work with that has snakes, and I that would freak me out. But you know what? If you know how to handle them, if you like know your stuff, then whatever. To each their own. If it's not going to hurt anybody, fine. When other advertisement on TV, YouTube, yeah, that's a huge they should not be able to. They should not be able to advertise gambling. Now, another thing, you see all these like gambling influencers, dude. Like, I can't think of any off the top. Like, like Book It with Trent is one that I always see all the time, where he's always like placing these big bets. I don't believe those people are actually placing their own money. Especially the bigger issue is the Barstool people. They're connected with DraftKings, and they're always like putting in like $2,500 parlays. There's no fucking chance in hell they're betting with their own money. Those guys, A, do not make enough money to be betting like that, and B, like, there's just no fucking shot. Like, I think the idea is you see, like, hey, this guy bet $2,500. The fucking shit in your brain is telling you, hey, I want to do that too. Like, these companies know what they're doing. They're getting people with like big followings to place these big bets. You look like a professional wrestler the way you're jumping. My dad taught me to gamble on football at 8 years old. I'm 60, never had a gambling addiction. I've been fucking around with betting since I'm in college, and I don't have an addiction whatsoever. What's always freaked me out is frogs. What do you mean frogs? They freaked you out? Same with slots. The majority of live streamers aren't paying. Don't even start me with that. 1.0. Like, a guy I watch all the time, and I think he's like hilarious. I watch him constantly. Is Bretsky. There is not a fucking chance in hell that guy is using his real money. There's no way. He's spending like $5,000 a video every single day. Like, on what planet? Like, you could be a fucking multi-millionaire. There's no way you spend that kind of money every single day. You should get into betting on arm wrestling. I'm good on that. You got influencers these kids watch on Twitch that push that shit. Yeah, you got these, like, every single fucking big-time streamer nowadays. Even, like, I've told you guys, my big idol, the guy who I've always enjoyed watching, my favorite streamer of all time is Tim the Tap Man. He's the reason I've gotten into this. Gambling is a tax for the retarded. 100%. Glassman, you use the word retarded. Very fair. People who get addicted to gambling, and SGA, thanks for the 100. And I've said this about casinos. I love going to casinos. I love fucking around. I've taken videos. I've done vlogs in casinos because I think it's fun. It's entertaining. But, like, I would always tell you guys, this is a terrible idea. Casinos are fucking... There's a reason casinos are getting bigger and bigger because they're not losing. People who get addicted to going to casinos... Like, at least like you're betting on sports, you at least have some sort of... You could do your research, and you're probably wrong anyway. You go to a casino, you're playing games of chance that are built for the house to win every time. People that walk into a casino and get addicted to like, hey, I'm going to watch this roulette ball, like this, I'm going to watch this roulette ball go around the wheel. I'm going to play my numbers. You got addicted to that? You're dumb enough to get addicted to fucking some shit like that? You're an absolute fucking bozo. Gambling is fine, but you have to know how. You have to know how, Glassman, and you have to have a limit. You have to like bring like $200 and go, this is what I'm prepared to lose today. Like, I can never understand being addicted to gambling. Dude, I'm in the same boat, pork chop. Like, I lose, like, the most I'll bet on a game is, like, maybe, I don't know, $100 if I'm really feeling good about something. And if I lose, I'm sick to my stomach. Like, people who get addicted to gambling who can lose thousands of dollars a week, I don't get it. It makes no sense. Slots are the fucking worst. I like to listen, slots are fun, but they are the dumbest thing to play in a casino. It's the worst thing. It keeps you in the casino longer, and that's about it. I don't want it banned. I want the ads gone. They're targeting young men. It's fucking predatory. I'm with you, Ardell. I think gambling is fine. Like, I think it's a fun hobby, but you're right. It's the young people. It's the next generation. It's the kids coming up in high school that are watching their favorite streamers, their favorite influencers, their favorite Barstool personality, their favorite fucking casino streamer. Like, you know, oh my God, I hit this parlay for $10,000. You notice these companies always fucking... Oh, the DraftKings is always like, check this guy out that won 10 grand. Like, these companies should be sick if that was something that happened all the time. They wouldn't want you thinking, oh, wow, somebody won 10 grand. That could be you. No, they're targeting the fucking idiots that are going to try to make the 10 grand that somebody else did because they're going to build another fucking house. These executives are going to build 10 more houses with your dumbass money. 1.0, thanks for the 100. Didn't someone bet over $1 million on the Eagles in a random game a few seasons back? I have no idea. $1 million is insane. But that's the thing. If you have that kind of money and you could bet $1 million, that's the kind of person that should be, then fine. Like, you know, if you can afford to lose that, more power to you. Like, it's insane to me. Like, my biggest issue is the people that get sucked into casino. Like, you're telling me you're so addicted to craps that you can't give it up? You can't give up a game of dice? Like, what are you, out of your mind? It's like, it's genuinely a tax on the people. Glassman's called them one word. I will say people that are stupid. If you're, like, and again, I can understand the addictive tendencies. I understand people getting addicted to, like, sports betting. And people getting addicted to, you know, the rush of betting on games and the idea of winning. I fine. But, like, if you can look at a game like roulette and be like, I have to keep playing this, you're an idiot. You're just dumb. Apparently a Kentucky man bet $3.1 million on the Eagles. That's insane, dude. The truth is that TV deals have tanked for everyone, but the NFL streaming has killed network TV. It has. It absolutely has. They should go back to not advertising alcohol, medication, gambling. If you're into that kind of stuff, you're already about it. Exactly. No, they should not be able to. So none of that stuff should be advertised. Yeah, the Magic are kind of running away a little bit. Gambling ads are the NBA sponsor. They can't make it without them. Huh. Yeah, I mean, the NBA is probably the most corrupt league of them all. Coming soon, sports betting on scripted. I think you can bet on WWE in, like, England, which is insane. I remember seeing, like, somebody bet on, like, the Royal Rumble one year, which is absolutely absurd. Whoever said this is smart, drug ads are shady as hell. Oh, yeah. No, it's fucking ridiculous, man. Like, they should not be able to advertise gambling. It's pointing at people's addictions and shit. And like you guys said, in general, you guys have said it. It's targeting these kids who are 18. I think you should be 25 before you can open up a sports book. Time to throw a little cheddar on the Pistons. I'm staying away. I am not going anywhere near this game. I'm scared to death. Honestly, arcades are casinos for kids. In a way, like, yeah, the lights and stuff, I get that. I once got a thin wall ad where this couple were having it out, and that was the ad. What's wrong with targeting the youth? I mean, come on, Nate. Like, do you need Chris Hansen to come to your house? Is that what you're trying to fucking say here? That's just a crazy statement. It's terrible. And the next generation, like, I hear like I said, it's bad. It's not good. Gambling is going to kill our society as a whole. I mean, targeting the youth brings in the money. It's unethical, though. Betting on dildos thrown on the court at WNBA games last year was wild. It was kind of crazy. Money is money no matter how you earn it. Yeah, but ethically speaking, the government could step in and do something. But guess what? The government isn't going to do it because the government is getting kickbacks from these companies. That's why the government isn't stepping in. If the government actually had our, our backs, they would get into it. You're saying gambling is bad, but yet you do it. Mike, I'm also a grown man. It's totally different. What I'm saying is gambling is bad for the youth. You got these gambling companies that are sucking these kids in when they're young, who have no idea what they're doing. I at least know that I've been doing it long enough where I understand it. I can kind of get it. Do I win all the time? Actually, I probably don't win as much as I lose. But it's a fun activity. It's my principle. Money is money no matter if you earn it morally wrong or not. Yeah, Connor, I mean, listen. Within guidelines, legally, sure. Fley's covered it with nuance. I have. And I've covered it like, I tell you guys, like I bet on games and I sit here and tell you what I bet on. And I lose. I've lost every fucking stream. Every fucking time I've streamed a game, I've lost. I try not to fucking sit here and pretend like, hey, guys, I've won $10 million here. No. I'm going to be real about it. It was illegal until the 90s to advertise medications and alcohol on cable network. Really? I didn't know that. Gambling's like alcohol, fine in moderation, but you need to stop at some point. Absolutely. The stuff I do for money that doesn't have to do with sexual stuff. Let's be real, you're not a little kid at 18. Yeah, but Nate, you're not a grown. You don't have the responsibilities. You don't understand like you don't have a grasp of what money is. Andre, thanks for the $2, man. You don't have a concept of money when you're that age. Like, your parents pay for everything when you're 18. You don't have a concept of like, hey, like budgeting yourself and jumping in. You see, like I said, a kid gets his paycheck the first time. You make what, $800? Like, you see a streamer throwing $400 at a game. You seem like all these kids think they know more about sports than anybody. So they jump in and think, wow, this will be easy. I'm so certain, like, whatever, the Pistons are going to win tonight. They'll bet on the Pistons with their fucking, salary that they barely made. I bust my ass off in the summer with working. Good, Connor. And then you're going to put it all back into gambling. So you could save your country at 18 but can't gamble? I mean, Nate, I agree with that idea. Like, I think if you could fight for your country, you should be able to drink. I've always said that. If you could fight for your country at 18, you should be allowed to drink at 18. I've said that. Gambling's a different thing. Gambling is predatory to the point where, like, you go out and have a couple beers, like, everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. No, I don't gamble. I invest, not gamble. See, Connor, I can't wait to find out you're bankrupt. Nate, not talking shit, asking sincerely. Yeah, my car payment is $700 right now. $700? It's a crazy fucking. What kind of car do you have? Like, just curiosity. See, Connor, that's a good mentality in a way. Because I actually respect that in a way. I think people, what do I know? I've always said, like, what do I know about, like, fucking companies, Fortune 500 companies, stocks? Nothing. I don't know shit about that. What do I know about sports? Still not a lot. But if I'm going to lose my money, I'm going to put it into something that I at least, like, enjoy, studying about. Okay, you don't have a problem, but there are a lot of people who are addicted to gambling. 100%, Mike. And I think people who are addicted to gambling, especially casinos, I think people who walk into a casino and can't leave without losing their entire paycheck is fucking ridiculous. Don't have a concept of consequence. Exactly. There's this old joke. An old vet is drinking at a bar and sees a young man in army uniform in the corner with no arms, no legs. The old vet walks up to him and says, "Let me get you a drink." The young vet says, "I'm not old enough to drink." It's crazy. There's people addicted to sex, so you're going to stop condom commercials too? That's not the same thing, Nate. It is, like, there's people addicted to sex. There's people addicted to everything. Not everything's predatory. Lottery tickets are still better because you still win something most of the time. Sometimes you got to double down and break even. I'm not saying that. Well, the reason for condom commercials, though, that's not the same thing. Like, condom commercials are at least protecting you from safe sex. At least it's something that's a good thing. It's not a, I'm addicted to my PlayStation. There you go. You could be addicted to anything. Being addicted to sex, it would be like, it would be like an alcohol company. Let me think about this. I'm trying to think of what do you call it? I'm trying to think of the logical thing here. It would be like a company like, advertising, I don't know, gambling limits. Sometimes you got to chase your losses. I never said that. People addicted to food, you're going to stop letting McDonald's air on TV. It's totally different, Nate. It's a different thing. I get it. Listen, McDonald's is not good for you, but they also have to put everything on the menu. They have everything on the menu that says, like, the health. At that point, you could choose whether you want to eat McDonald's or not. That's a choice thing. It's a little bit different in the long run. They advertise commercials for fucking Kava and, just salad. People still choose to go to McDonald's. It's a completely different thing. Like, if you're just saying they shouldn't have advertisements in general, then that's insane. Like, they can't just get rid of all advertisements. But, like, I guess anything, in a sense, anything can be wrong. I say fuck it. If people want to gamble away their life savings, let them. Yeah, Nate, I'm not saying people shouldn't be able to gamble. That's not what I'm saying here. I think the age restriction for gambling should be a little bit higher. Or teach kids in high schools about gambling. Teach courses in colleges about gambling. Because these people get into it and have no fucking clue what they're doing. Nobody's teaching you how to gamble growing up. And I'm not saying that you can learn and do it right. I'm not saying you can learn and win. I got a friend who's addicted to going to the gym. That can be a bad thing, Mike. That in a way, listen, low key, like, I get fucking all bent out of shape when I don't go to the gym. Like, but am I addicted to it? I made $200 from work. I would like to go to Vegas and gamble all that money away. Then you have no money. Vegas might be hell on earth. Vegas is the worst place on earth. It's horrible. You got the Pistons at plus 160. Not bad. Have you seen the show on Amazon Prime, American Gladiators? They have a new season. I didn't know they like the old American Gladiators, like that old show, because that's pretty cool. I'm glad they brought that back. That was always such a good show. Now the government is too involved. We should be able to gamble at younger ages. Again, Nate, that's a great way to fucking no, absolutely not. If they're not going to teach it in schools, you shouldn't be able to do it when you're out of high school. Yeah, they brought it back. That's cool. It was a great show. There's never a 50-50 chance of getting swole or eating fast food. Gambling is different. Some people in the chat. Yeah, I'm not going to dive into it. There's some people who have a complete ridiculous... Who wins, LeBron or a WNBA team in terms of what? What's the situation? Yeah, Connor, like... I can't tell if Nate's trolling. I kind of hope he is, because if he's not, you got bigger things to worry about. Nate, what kind of car do you drive, by the way? You said you have a $700 car payment. Gambling shouldn't be your money source. No, it's not for anybody. Don't let anybody convince you that, like, all these guys who are professional sports bettors, almost all of them are scammers. Every single one of them. Like, I would say 99.9%. 1v5 basketball game, I would probably take LeBron. I remember when a WNBA All-Star lost to fucking Sabrina Ionescu couldn't get around a 14-year-old Filipino All-Star kid. Like, I think people... LeBron in a 1-on-5 absolutely, I think, beats a WNBA team. I just don't know how they would stop him. I don't think it's just LeBron. I think there's a majority of NBA players that would win that. WNBA needs to be shut down. It's a waste of money. Connor, I don't know. Like, it's more so that the NBA is funding it. Sabrina got so pissed. Yeah, she was furious because she couldn't get around the kid. But no, listen, the WNBA has potential. The problem is the players don't. Bronny or a WNBA team, that might be a little different. Remember when Brittany Griner said she was better than DeMarcus Cousins? That was the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life. When she said she could beat DeMarcus Cousins one-on-one, unbelievably stupid. They can have a league without pay. They can't have a league without pay. Like, they wouldn't do that. But I think they a lot of the people leading the charge in the WNBA, like the leaders of the union, don't really have a realistic idea of what it's all about. Like, in terms of, like, they don't understand revenue. They don't understand, like, money in, money out. And they seem to think, like, hey, we should just get paid as much as the men. It's not going to happen. You don't make the money. I shouldn't have to go to school if I don't want. Nate, I would suggest you go to school. Like, need to stop the we deserve equal pay. Like, Connor, if they were making the money, yes, they deserve equal pay. It's the revenue. It has nothing to do with the fact that they're women. If DeMarcus Cousins had a better attitude, he'd probably still be in the league. Yeah. Dude, DeMarcus Cousins was so good. He just, like, he just was his own worst enemy. WNBA players are unbelievably entitled. Insanely. And the best part about the WNBA right now, all these players, is I think the worst thing that's going on right now is how much they're underestimating the popularity of Caitlin Clark. You have all these women around the league that, like, are trying to, and I guess there's a competitive edge to it, but the consistent putting down of Caitlin Clark without realizing the only reason that any of them are getting these supermax contracts they're getting today is because Caitlin Clark is in the league. Caitlin Clark is the reason the WNBA is getting all these sponsorships, getting everything that's coming to them. It's Caitlin Clark and it's nothing else. But I get the competitive side of it, but I also don't understand why these women are so quick to, like, try to downplay her impact on everything. They lose like $20 million every year. It's insane. Yeah, remember the pay us what they owe us? If they were making what they were owed, they would all be paying into the league. They would all owe the league. I think the exact number is they would owe the league, like, I think it was like $95,000 each or something. I forget. Somebody did the math on it. We don't know them. Like, Connor, it's good that they have a league. Like, I think it's fine. I'm good with the NBA sponsoring it. But for them to, like, get this high horse about them, like, they're bringing in any sort of revenue, the NBA is doing it. Like, if there was ever some bill passed where they had to be paid the same as the NBA, the league would fold. The league would be gone tomorrow. Like, and I don't think they realize that. WNBA is a glorified trust fund. It is. It's like, and don't get me wrong, listen, these women are talented athletes. I'm not trying to put them down. They're just not making money. Just because it's not making money doesn't mean it's not a good product. Exactly what I just said, Nate. Like, I think they're talented individuals. They're the best women's basketball players on the earth. What happened when Isaiah Thomas had an insane season in Boston, hip injury, and was never given another chance? Well, he's also, he had a hip injury. He was never really the same. He didn't move around as well. and he's also tiny. Like he's 5'8". Like once he lost his step a little bit, it kind of took away from him. Yeah, sure, they have a league, but like they are entitled scumbags. Listen, they're entitled for sure, like extremely. And a lot of these women, like I just don't think they're being led by people who are being realistically honest with them. Great, they have a league. I think it's great. I think the WNBA is a pretty decent product. See, Caitlin Clark is white and straight. That's exactly what the problem is. Like we can beat around the bush all we want. That's exactly the issue with Caitlin Clark. If she's like I remember seeing like there was a thing last year. They were asking like who's gonna win Rookie of the Year, and somebody's like, if it's not political, it'll be Angel Reese. And like, I'm like, are you fucking shitting me? Like the only reason Angel Reese has ever been in the conversation is because Caitlin Clark was too white. It's the truth of the matter. It's exactly why like they've tried to downplay her for this entire time. It's fucking ridiculous. It is reverse racism. It's exactly racist. It's legitimately it's not even reverse racism. It's just racism. So how about we start a league and make them... I don't understand why Caitlin Clark didn't go to the Big Three. If she just went to the Big Three, the WNBA would fall apart. Bullshit, don't make this about race. It is about race, Nate. It's 1,000%. Like, what is it about? Angel Reese shoots under 50% from the paint. Angel Reese is a fine basketball player. She's a world-class rebounder and an unbelievable, like bigger woman, I guess you would say, like in terms of like size. Angel Reese is a great basketball player. I'm not trying to take anything away from her. Like, she's a phenomenal basketball player. I'm not trying to take anything away from her. So, listen, it's about, you always want to claim race when you get to play the victim. I'm not playing the victim. It is race. What's the reason why Caitlin Clark's being downplayed then, Nate? Can you think of another reason? There's a jealousy factor to it, and there's the fact that she is a white, straight woman. It is not what they want as the face of their league. It is the absolute truth of the matter. I'm not playing any victim. I'm just not a fucking idiot. They gotta stop living in the past. Look, I think for years, obviously, like, the women are talented. They put together a good product. It's just the second Caitlin Clark came in the league, that's when it got all the attention. Because Caitlin Clark is the most skilled women's basketball player we've ever seen. She is a larger-than-life personality. She put all these eyes on women's basketball. When Clark arrived and took the Thunder, they got extremely jealous. That too. They got jealous. It was a jealousy factor too. You wouldn't even be defending Caitlin Clark like this if she wasn't white. Yes, I would. Are you kidding? If I saw the way that Caitlin Clark was treated, no matter what I would say the same shit. It's all about the envy. It's a lot of envy, but let's be real. If it was, we can call a spade here. Like, I don't think, like, it's just an educational, you put together a thesis, you look at what it is. Like, it fucking walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's probably a fucking duck. Dude, the two greatest NBA players about... Yeah, like, I don't... Like... Hold on. What do you mean? The two greatest NBA... Yeah. I'm not... Listen, I'm just calling a spade here. It has nothing to do... Like, the envy of it's for one, but I think it wouldn't be as big of a deal, is what I'm saying. It's so clear as day. Reverse racism is a thing. Calling it reverse racism, Connor... Race has nothing to do with it. It does. Glassman, what do you think they're so against Caitlin Clark? I do think there's a lot of envy towards it. But I also think, like, I also think it has a lot to do with who she is. And the fact that it's not what a lot of people would have wanted it to be. It absolutely has something to do with it. Wow. CC is the best NBA player in the WNBA. Let's stop. Just like the Jokic shade every year. It's true. It's absolutely true. Caitlin Clark is the well, listen, here's the thing. She's the most talented player in the WNBA. Like, A'ja Wilson wins the MVP every year because she's probably the best player in the WNBA right now. She's been the best player. Just because we are the good... okay, Connor, that's just ridiculous. That's not what I'm saying here. Oh, I mean it, but... It is, but the argument completely backfires against them. Wait, what? Oh, well, yeah, I understand that part, but it's also, I'm saying if it was based on race and the evidence entirely goes against. Fair. They don't like Caitlin Clark because she's the best shooter. She gets all the attention. There's a million reasons to not like Caitlin Clark. I think the envy of it's a big part of it. But I also think it has something to do with, obviously, like I said, there is a race issue there. I'm certain of it. But I think the envy, if I had to pick like the number one, it's likely the envy of the fact that all this attention came to the league all of a sudden when Caitlin Clark walked in the door. And obviously it's a territorial issue on top of everything. The second Caitlin Clark walked in, you got a lot of people who are like, wait a minute. Who's this girl walking in and taking over the league? Caitlin Clark is the only one making real money in the WNBA. The fact that she's even playing in the WNBA, Caitlin Clark should play anywhere. She should have played in the Big Three. Like that league does not, even like the commissioner of the league, everybody is like downplaying her. They try like, how about like the league commissioner? Everybody should be getting a sponsorship. What? Why? What kind of bullshit is that? Like when Caitlin Clark got like the largest deal, what was it, from Nike? She's like, I feel like the whole league should be getting a sponsor. How about just saying this is great, it's growing our product? Because it is. Caitlin Clark is the biggest thing growing the WNBA. If they really want the WNBA to grow, they'd all congratulate Caitlin. 100%. Absolutely. Listen, there's plenty of talented women's basketball players. There's a lot that are getting more attention. They deserve more attention than they're getting. 100%. That's how the WNBA is supposed to act. What do you mean? What do you mean that's how they're supposed to act? I respect the idea of trying to downplay her as like a competitor. I get that. That's understandable. But the downright just dismissing her, like her not being on Team USA, her, not being, like the consistent just trying to downplay who she is. The fact that she was kept off of Team USA is such a disgrace to women's basketball and to the United States growing the game. The NBA tried to reject LeBron too. They tried fighting him, but I agree. Nate, I'm not disagreeing with that. All the toxicity is going to turn the casuals away. It makes it impossible to watch. Nate, I agree with you on that. I think people were rejecting LeBron. They're still rejecting LeBron today. They hate her so much they foul her 20 times a game. She gets fucking bullied. Game after game. If she's not on the court, nobody's watching their product. Now, I get it. Competitively, I understand. You want to beat a girl like that. You want to beat the best. I get that. But the blatant, what's the word? The blatant, downplaying how good she is ridiculous. That, to this day, I think is one of the worst things that happened was her not being on the Team USA women's team. It's ridiculous. She's the best women's basketball player on the planet. She was when she was a junior in college. And, the biggest thing I'm sick and tired of is the fan base. The fan base trying to put, all these players in the same category as her. She's so far and beyond better than everybody. It's ridiculous. The whole thing's insane. Flyers better get their act together. What's the score? Caitlin needs to become the champion, and then WNBA will thrive like when Steph did in the NBA. I think it'll change the game, for sure. Jealousy is going to destroy the WNBA. If you reverse the roles 100%, it would be a bigger issue. I think you're totally right about it. But I still think it's a I think like I said, the envy of it to me is the bigger issue. I think it's the fact that they're envious of the fact that everybody started paying attention when she walked in the door. And I think it's a jealousy factor. Flyers were leading 3-0. It's 3-2. They lost. Damn. It's a big time jealousy factor, but it's also, you got these people, you got these players trying to say shit like, oh, Juju Watkins is already better than Caitlin Clark. She is not. It's insane. Should they lower the rim? I don't think it's a crazy thing to lower the rim. I don't think the game's that bad. I think the game's pretty all right. You don't need women, you don't necessarily need them dunking. The game's fine in its own regard, but they could lower the rim. I wouldn't say they should. It's because the Penguins got a damn lucky goal. Damn. It's a tough thing, man. Like I said, Caitlin Clark, I don't understand. She could play anywhere, probably make millions and millions of dollars. I'm shocked there's not some team around the world that's trying to get her, who knows? Bounce off the back wall, damn. It's brutal. This game's electric right now. Remember when Angel Reese was crashing out of the presser saying everyone is watching because of her too? Well, yeah, I mean, listen, is Angel Reese a good personality for the WNBA? 100%. I think Angel Reese is great for it. Like, wow. I think Angel Reese, Angel got traded and a week later, nobody cared. I think Angel Reese is great for the product. Just as, like, maybe not as, listen, not as big as Caitlin Clark, but I think her personality, her presence, her social media presence is great for the league. I do agree with that. But do I think people are even close to watching the NBA because of her, like Caitlin Clark? No. That's another envy thing. That's another trying to, like, hey, like, look at me too. No shot. Angel Reese is everything wrong with the WNBA. I don't agree with that. I think Angel Reese is good for the WNBA. I think she's another presence of, this. She's got this presence. She's got this backing. I think she's great. I actually think she's great for the WNBA too, but not at the level of Caitlin Clark. Would you eat Angel Reese out? I don't know. I have no idea. Nobody in the NBA got mad when Larry Bird was the best player in the NBA. Well, that was different. Like, that was like you're comparing apples and oranges. Angel is a great. Listen, I think Angel Reese is a great WNBA player. She should be good for it, but all she does is turn viewers away. I don't know if she does. Like, I don't think she's not a great player. I think she, like, I don't think she's not a great player. I think she's good. I think if we stop trying to pretend like she's like a superstar of the level of Caitlin Clark and just like appreciate her for what she is, which is a world-class fucking rebounder, a world-class inside presence. Listen, she doesn't score the ball very well. She's closer to Dennis Rodman than she is to anything else. She really trademarked the phrase me-bound, which I think is pretty fucking funny. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I actually think, like, it's a smart move. Like, I think she's a great, like, I think there's a lot of things about her that are good for the league. I don't necessarily think Angel Reese is bad for the WNBA. I don't agree with that. But I also think pretending like she's of the level of some of these players is a little bit ridiculous and forced would be the word. Would probably be the better word in all of it. Oh, fuck. Rebounding to yourself doesn't make you great. Please stop. What do you mean rebounding to yourself? High Wisdom, how often do you see somebody miss like 9 layups in a row and grab rebounds in the NBA? It doesn't happen. Listen, is she missing shots up close? Is she a great fucking finisher? No. Nobody's claiming that. But the fact that she can play she could do the fucking, what's that drill? What do they call that? The Mikan drill? She basically could do a Mikan drill in the span of a professional basketball game. There's something to be said about that. That's an impressive feat. It is. There is a skill to it. It's definitely a much different style, but to me, the WNBA has always been real sloppy. Yeah, I mean, it's a less. I agree with that. I think it's definitely far sloppier. I think it's just the difference in skill level from what we're used to seeing in the NBA, but that'll evolve. That'll get better as the years go on because they make them. Listen, High Wisdom, how often you see a guy miss a layup and not get his own rebound is all I'm saying. It's a skill. There is something skilled towards it. Of being able to grab your own rebounds, being in the position, being unable to be moved. There is absolutely something to that. I think you're downplaying it. Now, is it ridiculous that she takes 9 layups a possession? Of course. I'm not disagreeing with that either. It's a double-edged sword there, for sure. I think you're focusing way too much on one side of this. I could beat. No, you could not. You would not. Connor, you would not. I'm sorry, you're not beating Angel Reese 101. No chance. Maybe I could. I don't know, Connor. Like, maybe. Jokic, what about Jokic? You would never see if Jokic missed 2 layups, he would not be grabbing rebounds over and over again. That's also a skill gap thing. I think that's also a skill issue. Like Angel Reese is far more physical than the women she's playing against. Jordan today or Angel Reese? Jordan today. More 100% Michael Jordan today. No doubt in my mind. That's not a question. Again, Michael Jordan is one of the greatest players in the history of basketball. I can do all the things through Christ who strengthens me. Yeah, Connor, you're getting cooked. Sorry. That phrase alone, what you just said, Angel Reese is is going 8-0 against you. The fact that's like not trying to destroy your faith here, but like if you could say like if you said like I'm pretty good at rebounding, but the fact that you went right to God, like the fact that you went right like okay, I don't know if I trust it as much. I'm not trying to destroy your faith here, but more so like the fact that the power of God is why you would beat Angel Reese. If you said like I'm a pretty damn good basketball player, I'd be like, all right, like we could talk about it, but like I'm not I'm not putting you up against a professional women's basketball player. Flay, best first date appetizer? Ooh, good question. I think you go simple first date appetizer, chips and salsa or chips and guac, something chips related. I don't think you go too crazy. I think like most appetizers are very hit or miss, whether it's mozzarella sticks, potato skins. But I think you go chips and salsa. Everybody agrees with chips and salsa like I think it's just the simple. Nobody doesn't like chips and salsa, chips and whatever. Like I think it's absolutely the easy move. I'll take a 6'1" high school baller over her all day. I'd agree. Most varsity basketball players, Drewski or Angel Reese. Ooh, I don't know. I've never seen Drewski play basketball. I don't know anything about Drewski's basketball game. Both of them suck. Drewski, I feel like, has never done anything in any of these celebrity games that would make me go, I'd take Drewski. Get mozzarella sticks and ask her if she could suck the cheese out. You're thinking differently than I am here, 1.0, and I don't necessarily hate it, but I think, like, if you're telling me you're going to order for the table, you could just ask, hey, what kind of appetizers do you like? I think if you were going to order ahead of time or something like that, chips and salsa is the easiest. What do you call it? You ever been kicked out of an Olive Garden this week or ever? Drewski isn't good at anything. LeBron in 100 years or Angel? I would think LeBron would be dead by then. So LeBron James. I would take J. Cole. J. Cole was a college basketball player. He was a Division I college basketball player. Yes, I'm taking J. Cole over Angel Reese. He is a current professional baseball player. Mozzarella sticks is the easiest. No, it's not. Not everybody likes mozzarella sticks. It's not better than chips and like the thing is you could do any sort of dip with the chips. I think if like you were gonna play it safe, you go chips and salsa. Mozzarella sticks is probably the second easiest. I've never met anybody that doesn't like mozzarella sticks, but I'd go chips and salsa first. If we're ranking appetizers for a first date, hear me out. Pigs in a blanket. You should get drunk, then go to Panda Express. That sounds like a perfect night. Actually, that sounds like a perfect day. I've been drunk at Panda Express. The fucking Vegas has Panda Express everywhere. Fries are the best appetizer. Okay. If you're considering fries an appetizer, then yes, I consider fries a side. I think that's different. But obviously, like if you're putting that on the appetizer list, that's number one. Chips and salsa. Girls don't like garlic bread. How much salsa are you putting? Like, how much garlic is in the salsa you're eating? Nacho fries are a good choice. Chips and queso. I don't know. They're like I don't know what kind of fucking salsa you're eating, but I don't know. I consider them both an appetizer and a side. Fries are a side, in my opinion. Like, I'm not. Nobody's ordering fries as like an appetizer. Loaded fries are an appetizer. That's fair. That's different. I guess if we want to get into semantics, you could put fries in the appetizer. Fine. If that's the case, then fries as like for the table is the best move. Wow. Pizza rolls, broccoli bites are easy. Nobody's eating broccoli bites. You order broccoli bites on a first date, and that girl doesn't get up and leave. Like, no, that's a terrible decision. Pizza rolls. Where can you get pizza? Is there any restaurants should have pizza rolls as an appetizer? To be fair, I think that wouldn't be a bad move. Like, I think that's a simple thing. You just fucking heat up pizza rolls in the microwave, or you put them in the oven, whatever you want to do. Depends. Are you with the boys or with the show? He said on a date. That changes a lot of things. I work in a tavern. I'm giving you knowledge like I do in basketball. See, your knowledge in basketball is ridiculous too. See, like Italian water ice, telling me that, like, now I don't know if I trust your opinion. Travel. Eat chicken. Boneless wing. Boneless wings are good. Okay. Boneless wings are a good choice too. I think everybody likes wings. Boneless wings are probably the simplest. Chris Porzingis can say he's a champion. Cat will never be able to say that. Who cares? I don't care. If your barometer for a guy being a better player is championships, then you have no idea then you're automatically, your opinion is completely invalid in my opinion. Yes, Kristaps Porzingis won a title. He was also hurt the entire year. Like he almost had nothing to do with it. He pretty much put his name on the group project by the end. I'm not trying to downplay Kristaps Porzingis. He's a great player. He's not even close to the level of Karl Anthony Towns. Like they're not even on the same. They're not fucking in the same tax bracket. Well, I'm going to quit the whole football journey and try out baseball. Have you played baseball, Connor? Like, do you play baseball? Have you played baseball? The unicorn? Listen, Kristaps Porzingis was a great Knick. No one ever brings up Dan Marino. Why? Because he never won a championship, but Dan Marino is low-key the GOAT. Well, I think Dan Marino gets brought up in those conversations. I just don't think he's on the level of, like, Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, and it's not even just the championship aspect of it. It's the fact that he, not only did he win championships, he went somewhere else. Football's a little bit different from a lot of things, especially from a quarterback perspective. Now, Dan Marino, low-key, does not get enough credit. He is an all-time great quarterback. He's probably top 5 all-time. His stats, if you're speaking statistically, he's an all-time great. Chicken strips on a date, vegetarians or cheap dates, absolutely. Dan Marino was unbelievable. Like, Dan Marino is a top 3 of all time. Dan got there year 1 or 2, right? Yeah, he went his second year. After all my years of backyard baseball, when my friend was a legitimate pitcher, I can hit hard. Connor, you're gonna be in for a rude awakening. Marino never had good wide receivers. He never really had anything around him either. Will Mahomes ever catch up to Brady? I don't think so. Not a chance. Brady, Montana, Elway. I think that's a pretty universally regarded list. I think, is there somebody I'm missing? Low key, I think there's quarterbacks more recent that probably could be on that list. Never had a Jerry Rice. Brady had a bunch of years where he didn't have like the greatest wide receivers, but I think it's fair to say Tom Brady won with not a lot. So they'll bring up Kristaps Porzingis comparing him to Kareem before Cat. Not true. Nobody's comparing Kristaps Porzingis to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar or Karl Anthony. Like nobody's putting either one of those in that conversation, Nate. Like Jesus, Brady cheated, can't be number 1. Listen, trust me, I would absolutely love to downplay Tom Brady. I also think Peyton Manning's the second greatest quarterback of all time, maybe second or third. I would love to downplay Tom Brady. But the fact of the matter is, he went to Tampa after winning all those Super Bowls with the Patriots, after they caught him cheating, after they were all over him. I'm not Tom Brady. Tom Brady's the greatest quarterback of all time, and I'm a Jet fan. He ruined my childhood. I hate Tom Brady with a passion. He's the greatest quarterback of all time. It's not even up for debate. Orlando should be running away with this game. I feel like Orlando's just letting the Pistons hang around. I do think, like, Peyton Manning doesn't get enough credit for how good he was for such a long time. The Indianapolis Colts were consistently the 1 seed in the postseason, like, every year. Problem is, why is Nugs minus 11.5? Yeah, Anthony Edwards and DiVincenzo are out. All you do is bring up championships with Brady, but it's no big deal because it's a ridiculous argument. If you're comparing, Nate, two guys who are close, that's when the championships go into the argument. Porzingis is not in the conversation with Karl Anthony Towns. Stop it. He's not in the conversation with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar either. Orlando has no go-to guy to close games like, hey, Cade Cunningham. Yeah, you're not wrong. Edwards and DiVincenzo are both out. But even when both those guys were out, Minnesota came back, but they also had Ao, I don't even know how to say his last name, Dosamu. Brady still consistently was in the playoffs. Yeah, no, listen, I'm not trying to say that Peyton Manning didn't do anything Tom Brady did. But I think people downplay Peyton Manning because he didn't win the Super Bowl very often. Like, also, when you think about it, Peyton Manning didn't have a lot of great teams around. He had Marvin Harrison for a while. He had Reggie Wayne. But a lot of those Colts teams are not very good besides Peyton Manning. Denver, Jokic is playing hurt. He's playing hurt? Jokic? I believe the Patriots won. Yeah. No, listen, the only year the Patriots didn't win the AFC East is the year Brady got hurt. I'm not, I'm not trying to put Peyton Manning in the conversation with Tom Brady. Obviously, Tom Brady dominated his division and was consistently at the top. Edgerrin James was fine. But I'm talking about like defense. Like Bob Sanders was probably the best defensive player they ever had. The wide receivers, his tight ends, like Peyton Manning made a lot of those guys better than they should have been. The Chiefs won the AFC West for 11 straight years too. Again, Manning was more athletic, but Peyton Manning was not more athletic than Tom Brady. No shot. No, he was not. Peyton had the number one offense ever in Denver. Okay, when he went to Denver, that was different. When Peyton Manning went to Denver and had all those weapons, I kind of forgot about that. Like Demaryius Thomas, like Emmanuel Sanders, those teams were fucking ridiculous. I actually forgot about that, which is totally fair. But also, when Tom Brady went to, you could say the same thing about when Tom Brady went to Tampa. The weapons he had were ridiculous. But Tom Brady, comparing Tom Brady and Peyton Manning athletically is like, it's just like we'd be better off. Me and you would be better off racing. Panthers should have ran away with that Super Bowl. Denver's defense was ridiculous. Like, I don't know if run away would be the word, but Denver had a crazy defense. Oh, wow, Emmanuel Sanders, it's almost like Jackson Smith. Emmanuel Sanders was a very good wide receiver. Like, Nate, don't be downplaying Emmanuel Sanders. He was ridiculous. Denver's defense was world-class that year, though. Like Von Miller was the best player in football that year, probably. Devin Booker pissing me off. How much does he have? How many does he have? Panthers looked unstoppable all year. Yeah, they did. Listen, the Panthers were a great team. I'm not suggesting that the Panthers should have played better. But that Denver team, that defense that the Denver Broncos had, was so good. They carried Brock Osweiler to the 1 seed. 4? Jeez. Denver's offense was also not very good that game. No, Peyton Manning wasn't that good that year. Like, Peyton Manning was taking a backseat to Brock Osweiler all year. Like, the entire season, Peyton Manning was sitting on the bench because they thought Brock Osweiler was a better option. That was Peyton's last year when he couldn't even, turn his neck. I'm pretty sure there was something, he had trouble even handing the ball off because his neck was so bad at that point in his career. The Orlando crowd has been amazing, huh? But, yeah, listen, there's a lot you can go on. I don't know how we even got here. I think we were talking about Dan Marino. Dan Marino doesn't get enough credit for how good he was. But Eli Manning is a top 10 quarterback. I'd have to look at the list. I don't know. I think Eli Manning, listen, his stats are up there. I don't know talent-wise if I'd put Eli Manning in the top 10, but Knicks are your only hope. The Knicks are going to win the title. What do you mean my only hope? By the way, great call on Joel Embiid coming back and changing things. Joel Embiid came back and literally made the Sixers worse because he couldn't cover a fucking ball screen. He did own Brady. Eli, yeah, listen, yeah, sure. But Eli Manning also won 2 Super Bowls because he had the greatest defensive line of all time, both times. I guess the first time, really. How can I stop being offended by people using the word pause? I don't know. Stop being why are you offended by the word pause? What? Eli's clutch, not necessarily great. Yeah, listen, there's a big difference. Eli was one of the most clutch quarterbacks in NFL history. Great, not the word. I'm not putting Eli Manning in the top 10. Eli Manning week to week was a crapshoot. They were going to run him out of New York time and time again. He had 2 great runs to a Super Bowl. He was clutch. Yes, clutch is the word. If Pistons lose, I'll give you 2-for-1 handies to anyone in the chat. Somebody take him up on that offer. Seems like a great offer. Seems like something you can't refuse. Eli Manning's a legend in New York. Well, what's the point? Well, that's the point. I would like to not be offended, and I'm asking, you have any tips that maybe you use to not be offended? I think you just got to stop caring. Why are you, I don't understand why you're offended by the word pause. That's just what I'm saying. Why pause of all words? I don't get offended by much things. I think you got to stop caring about other people's opinions so much. You still keep up with KSI? I don't think I ever kept up with him in the first place. So was Phillip Rivers. What do you mean? I mean, Phillip Rivers, objectively, Phillip Rivers was a better quarterback than Eli Manning ever was. Eli Manning was far more clutch, From what I heard, the Jets were not supposed to win the '69 Super. They weren't. No, the Jets were the only. Glassman, here's the thing. The Jets are the reason the NFL is what it is today. Nobody respected the American Football League back then. Back then, it was like the American Football League would be like what, not necessarily what the UFL is today, but pretty close. Like in terms of like the AFL was a second-rate league, and the only reason they did the Super Bowl was because they were both bringing in money, and there were fan bases of like both teams. It was an idea like, hey, let's test this out. Nobody gave the Jets a chance in that game. I think the Jets were 11.5-point underdogs, and the Jets won that game outright. Like, it was like insane at that time to think an AFL team could beat an NFL team. The only reason they did the Super Bowl was because it was a money grab of both leagues trying to claim that their league was better. If the Jets don't win Super Bowl III, the NFL might not have ever merged. It's like the biggest, it's probably the most important football game in the history of the NFL, is the Jets winning Super Bowl III. And that's not me just fucking riding my Jets. That's historically speaking. You know what's crazy? I did a Irish King. What's up, man? I took a college class, like, which is hilarious. It was on my college fucking curriculum. It was an elective class. Impact of sports. I got offended by the word rewind. I understand him being offended by the word pause. I hope you guys are fucking with me. What do you mean? You're offended by rewind? Damn. So forget it. Neither one of you guys are ever going to Blockbuster. Like, neither one of you guys were going to be able to get through the era of tapes. It bothers me because I interpret it as saying that gay is bad, even if it's not their intention. I mean, I think it's just like you could say something and it could be a double entendre, Jameis. I think people could say, I don't think it's necessarily that gay is bad. It's like I could say you know, you could say something and it could come off sounding dirty. That's when you say pause. I don't think it's necessarily a gay thing at all. It's just like you could say something and like it could be a double entendre. You could say it could mean one thing and it could also mean something entirely dirty. Like when somebody says something like, what time is he going to come? You'd be like, pause. That's not what I meant. What time is he going to arrive here? Like, I don't think that's necessarily a gay thing. I think it's just it could be interpreted dirty. I say it every time. Anytime somebody's like, is he coming? Like, I'm just like, hold on, what do you mean by that? Or is she coming? It could be he or she. Drew Brees is better than Eli, and I wouldn't say he's top 10. Drew Brees is top 10, without a doubt. But he's way better than Eli Manning. I think Phillip Rivers was better than Eli Manning, too. Eli Manning was far more clutch. Made 2 runs to the Super Bowl. There are quarterbacks who have won Super Bowls that aren't better than quarterbacks who have won Super Bowls. It's not necessarily always a fair barometer. $75 Nuggets minus 11.5. I'm not touching any of the games tonight because I was very skeptical on anything, all sports. Give me Brad Johnson. Brad Johnson was a hell of a quarterback for a long time. Won a Super Bowl. I'm taking up the ass. Pause. Okay, that's not. There's no double entendre there. Chris Benoit. Oh, why are we bringing up Chris Benoit? I saw somebody talk about him recently because they were talking about all-time wrestlers, and I'm just like he's never in the conversation. Like we're not bringing Chris Benoit back into the conversation. But yeah, Nate, there's no. Honestly, Keith Lee was so underrated in the WWE. It sucks he didn't turn. That's how I used pause. Yeah, but like that's not necessarily what I'm talking about. Like that's not even a double entendre. There's no really other way to interpret what you're saying. Anyway, Chris Benoit was great. Chris Benoit in the ring was a world-class wrestler. Terrible human being. Paul is an East Coast shit now that it's not necessarily just for gay things. You're a WWE guy, you hate on all WCW guys. Me? No, I don't. Absolutely not. Chris Benoit was unbelievable inside a wrestling ring. He would have been an all-time great if he wasn't if he didn't decide to kill his whole family. Like let's be real. Chris Benoit was unbelievable. Was an unbelievable wrestler. What I'm saying is when I'm having a conversation, like I'm not putting Chris Benoit in these conversations. I used to say I'm gay, but that's not how you use pause though. You think the WWE was right to basically erase Benoit? You know what the thing is about that is like, I don't know, man, because the problem with it, there's a thing with WWE erasing Chris Benoit. Obviously, what he did was horrific, and he's a terrible person. Like, yeah, you know what? I think erasing Chris Benoit is a good idea. Like, but I think it's more WWE protecting themselves because of how horribly they handled the situation. You know what I mean? Um, to be fair, I think that's a fair thing. That I think maybe WWE erased him because they handled it so poorly. You know, like he has like there are guys who have lost like some of their greatest matches of all time because Chris Benoit. Like Booker T had a best of 7 series with Chris Benoit that were 7 unbelievable matches. There are plenty of people whose like wrestling history is a little bit deteriorated because Chris Benoit is. Am I wrong, though, that pause is seemingly only used in a gay context? No, I don't think it is. I don't think that's the case at all. Like, I think it's used anytime you say something, when you say a phrase and you accidentally say it dirty. Seems to me like trying to erase something can potentially make the situation worse and lead people to press harder. I don't disagree. Like, did you see the band that played his theme song recently just started playing it again at concerts? I don't think, like, think about that band for a second. I forget what their band name is. But they made a song. It became a hit. It ended up being like, you're like, oh my God, great. A wrestler's going to have our theme song. And it just so happens you gave it to the guy that fucking killed his whole family. Like, could you imagine the bad luck that is? Like, that's a song that they don't even play anymore. Like, they just started playing it recently again, which I respect. You know, it's their song. They created a fucking gem of a song, and it just so happened to be associated with a guy who's not a great person. I think Kurt Angle had his best matches with Benoit. Absolutely. I agree. Look, I think you're right in a way. If you try to erase it entirely, people are going to ask more questions. I think we're grown-ups here. We can look at Chris Benoit and say, hey, he was a terrible guy. He was a miserable human being. What he did was wrong. There is a ton of people's match history that involved Chris Benoit, which it's shitty. I don't know. It's really to each their own. I think I could get over it if he was back in like the anthology of WWE. I don't think I would be offended by any means. But do I think like he should be celebrated? No. I don't think we should be like, hey, Chris Benoit. Like, they're never going to put Chris Benoit in the Hall of Fame or anything like that. I dislike myself for being offended by things other people say or do. Yeah, Jameis, the second you learn not to, like, I'm not saying, hey, don't be offended. Like, what I'm saying is, like, once you learn to take people less seriously, you know, it makes life a lot easier. It was really awkward when they had the whole tribute show for Benoit. Yeah, I mean, that was before they knew what was going on. They had no idea. And honestly, to be fair, I don't think they could have known. I don't think, like, they could have had any idea. All they knew was Chris Benoit was dead. There was no information that came out about it. But I guess, like, they could have waited. I think the problem with the situation is that everybody knew Chris Benoit was dead, so they had to act. Like, oh my God. I think it was more so they acted because everybody, the stories were Chris Benoit was dead, so they reacted to it. It was a lot of people who were close with Chris Benoit. From what I've heard, 2007 was a bonkers year. Insane year for WWE, absolutely. Probably one of the craziest wrestling years of all time. James, you have to ask yourself, what would James do? Probably steal some credit legs, you're right. Think about it. There were a lot of people that worked with Benoit at the time that probably they had no idea what was going on. These are people that were good friends with him that, like, you know, it's hard. Can you put the VGK game on? No, not right now. Absolutely not. I'm on this Detroit Orlando game is too good. I'm not putting on Vegas right now. '07 Rey Mysterio. It's a big year for Rey. It was the year he won the title, right? Was that '07? When the game's over. There's 3 minutes left in this game, and it's too good. I think he was such a horrible mental state. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, he had a horrific CTE. His finishing move, the diving headbutt, is one of the stupidest moves you could possibly do. Like, the fact that they ever let anybody do that. I think Harley Race made it famous. I think Chris Benoit was doing it, like, at such a fucking ridiculous level. And all the shit he was doing was insane. My friend who was a Braves fan said, your Mets ain't shit. Please, 14-game losing streak. I mean, the fact that your friend's a Braves fan, like, Atlanta education, Georgia education, that education system's a joke as is. I'm not going to take anything he says with a grain of salt. So, You can tell your Braves fan he can like go back to doing whatever they do in Georgia, like I don't know, picking their ass. I don't know, like I don't know, fucking mudding, whatever the fuck dumb shit they do down there for fun. If Benoit wrestled today, the safety precautions nowadays would have made it way different. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. Neither team can buy a bucket right now. He lives in Carolina, though, even worse. Way worse. A lot of people in chat are rooting for the Magic so they can get my 2-for-1 special. I think so. I'm literally like, the Braves are so unbelievably overrated. It's a long season. It's a 162 game season. If he wants to hang the banner today, he's got a fucking whole lot of hurt coming his way. Squidbillies from Georgia. I don't give a fuck about like your opinion like in that area. Like I'm good. I gotta like. Luckily, I'm in the New York school system. From what I heard, Benoit's brain was on the level of an 80-year-old with Alzheimer's. Oh yeah. Well, you look at some of the moves he did, Glassman. Like the times he hit his head and did things that were like so insane. Like, and he did it every single night. He went full bore every night in and night out. Whatever that crazy schedule is that they have. They do a much better job protecting the wrestlers today, like you said. I think it would be a totally different story. Benoit was a product of, he was a guy who worked 100% of the time at that crazy schedule, and it just was something that it was wear and tear. His mental state could not have been very good. CTE, 100%. Oh yeah, without a doubt, it's CTE. Yeah. Like, the amount of times he hit his head. He's confident the Braves can beat the Dodgers and the Mets are not competition. He's gonna learn something very fucking, like, it's insane. He's gonna learn, like, it's fucking April 27th once again. The Braves have played a fucking whole lot of hot garbage to start a year. That Braves fan head is so big he can't even fit inside a noggin boss hat. Braves fans, I've learned, are some of the dumbest people on earth. Like, it's April 27th. We're like a full month into the season. There's too much season left. For what the Braves have played so far this year, I would not be that confident yet. They've taken care of business, which is what they need to do, but I wouldn't be hanging my fucking banners yet. Pause is said in response to gay stuff primarily. Not really. It said to dirty things, Jameis. Like, I think you're just trying to make it about, like, I think for someone, I don't know why you're offended by it. It's something that said when he said all they could do is play who's on their schedule. I agree. Hey, I'm not like complaining. I'm not saying like, hey, like, they should have played tougher competition. They're given a schedule. I agree with that. But if you can't acknowledge that they've played a ridiculously easy schedule to start the year, like, I don't know, like, it's something that I wouldn't be hanging the banner today. They're taking care of business, which is very fair. Like, I admit that. Braves aren't that good, LMAO. I guess it's all because the Hawks going to lose. Yeah, like, look, the Braves, I think, are extremely overrated. Pause is essentially no homo. Pause is kind of, no homo is no homo. Pause is basically, I just said something that could be taken in a dirty context. I think you're just like trying to like make up for being offended by something that shouldn't offend you. It's not no homo. Pause is when you say something that can be interpreted dirty. No, it isn't. It is. It is, Jameis. If you say something dirty, if you say something that can be interpreted in a dirty fashion, you say pause. Like, I think you just get offended a little too easy there, Jameis. Look it up, you fucking idiot. Take it easy. Here we go. You're already offended. See? You need to, like, figure your own... You got your own issues, buddy. Like, Jesus Christ. You, like... I know more about you, like, psychologically, Jameis, than, like... All I'm saying... Pause. Look, I'll look it up. Pause meaning. It's used to mock or distance oneself from a statement that can be sexually subjective. It's used to mock or distance yourself to something that can be sexually suggestive. Holy shit. You just want to be offended, Jameis. Like, you just want to be upset about something. It's every stream with you, too. There's always something that gets you all offended. God, like, holy shit. It's like it's got to be nauseating being as like you got to figure it out a little bit, man. Like you got offended by the easiest shit. Remember the Velveteen Dream at all? Yes, I do. What happened with that guy? What was there was a scandal behind the Velveteen Dream? What was it? He was talking to minors or something like that? Was that what it was? What was the big? Let me look that up. I'm not entirely sure that's what it was, but I know Velveteen Dream had something go on that like, or was that there was somebody else that happened to? What happened with this guy? Yeah, he sent pictures to underage boys. I was joking about the fucking idiot part. Yeah, you're right. I do get offended easily. I looked at. Yeah, listen, you do. You say pause when you say something sexually suggestive. Who do you think's winning this Magic game? You're gonna just glance past the fact you called me a fucking idiot? Like, if you can't handle yourself here, Jameis, like, I don't know what to tell you, man. We're gonna talk about shit. But I'm fucking with you, dude. It's all good. Who do I think's gonna win the Magic game? It looks like the fucking Pistons can't buy a bucket. Sorry, Fley. He said the Mets will finish last in your division. Your friend's a Braves fan in the North Carolina school system. You don't have to apologize to me. His parents should apologize to him for setting himself up for failure. Pistons can't buy a bucket. Maybe Benoit heard the word pause and he made him snap. Velveteen Dream been in and out of jail since. You know, he sent pictures to minors. That's what, like... I'm surprised he hasn't been in jail for longer. But... No, listen, James, we're all good here, man. I'm fucking around. But... Anytime personally, from my interpretation of pause, is when you say something dirty. Like, I do think there's a culture issue where, like, maybe some people say shit that comes off a little, maybe like you're not totally wrong in terms of like, yeah, it can be something gay that can be said pause, but like it's usually the sexual side of it. It's the sexual nature. I don't think it's necessarily the gay part of it. How can you be confident in a team that goes 0-14 though? Like how? Because I'm not a fucking moron, Nate. It's April 27th. Teams struggle. It happens. The Mets have not been healthy for one day this season. That's why. They've struggled mightily. They should be in a worse place than they are, and they're really not. Am I concerned? Yes. Do I think we're dead? No. It's April 27th. That's why. I saw what the Atlanta Braves were a year ago. Miserable. The Atlanta Braves were a terrible baseball team. They're a product of a schedule that is extremely favorable. Dude, you were going to war on stream tonight. Oh, every comment is attacking you. That's fine. It doesn't bother me. And see, I'm not offended. I don't give a shit. Do it. Rockies are a dark horse to win it all, too. I mean, no, they're not a dark horse. Losing all those games. Wow. Losing all those games to the Rockies is not good. You can't be losing to the Rockies like that. But, and I don't even think, I'm not even going to try to like, the Rockies are better than they were a year ago, but that's also like saying like you polished up the turd. It's like, you're getting mad, which is fine. I get mad too. I'm not mad. I get over it very easily. I'm intense. I get my point across, Jameis. Oh, just trying to make you feel better, Flay? It's not. No. That's like polishing up a piece of shit. Are they better than they were a year ago? Sure. But it's not. It's hard to be worse than what the Rockies were. There's nothing good about that. No. Jameis, I'm intense. I get loud because, hey, you got to be intense. I'm not mad. I'm chilling. I'm allowed to defend myself. I'm not going to get all fucking... you fucking like no, like I'm not that like I'm not worried about like what somebody says to me. I don't care. Does Aaron Rodgers play for next season? Probably Pittsburgh. You know, they could talk all the shit they want. Oh, we don't want Aaron Rodgers here. If he's not going to commit, Aaron Rodgers is going to be the quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers next year. They don't have a better backup plan. Seems like you care? Not at all. I've moved on 10 times. I don't give a shit. You think I care what anybody has to say to me? Like Jameis, I really don't. If I did, I wouldn't be able to do this. Like, you're going to get people in here that are going to try to fucking get you going. I don't care. It is what it is. I've moved on from conversations over and over and over again. Ugh. I can't believe, like, dude, the fact that like Detroit hasn't come like Orlando's given Detroit every shot to be in this game, which is great. I hope Orlando knocks Detroit out of the playoffs. That'll just be an easier ride for the Knicks. I think it's natural for people to care to some degree what others say. Okay, I just don't. Like, I really don't. Like, when I end stream in like 10 minutes, I'm not going to think about a thing that happened. Like, I don't know. I remember the Thunderdome era, and people projected images of Benoit on their... Dude. Insane. The Thunderdome era was ridiculous. How many wins will the Jets get this year? Like 3? Wow. The Pistons are fucking awful. That's crazy. I can't believe how bad the Pistons are. Their fan base is one of the most insufferable ones in basketball. The Pistons are terrible. Wow. And Cade Cunningham in the big moment. Wow. I'm going to be talking some shit today. There's a lot of Detroit fans that are talking shit about the Knicks. They're not even going to get past Orlando. Man. Everyone does care to some degree. You're lying if you say otherwise. No, I'm not, Jameis. Not all of us are fucking soft, dude. I really don't care. Like, I haven't thought about a thing. I barely remember what was said in chat even 5 minutes ago. I've moved on. I don't care. Like, you seem to care more that I don't care. Magic winning it all? No, they're not. The Magic are obviously better than an 8 seed, but people like there were a lot of people talking about this Pistons team like they belong in these higher conversations. What do you think of the Fiend? I think Bray Wyatt was misused time and time and time again. I think Bray Wyatt was so unbelievably interesting. I was never like Bray Wyatt matches or like, I was never like a big Bray Wyatt match guy. I don't know. It's a shame. Like, he died so early. He was so good on the mic. You see him angry now, being passive aggressive about me being soft. You literally deleted your own comment. Like, what are you talking? Like, I still see it, Javis. Like, you are soft. I'm not calling you. I'm not claiming you're soft. You are soft. The Fiend started off cool, but it got to the point where the spooky stuff got so corny. It did, and the spooky stuff got corny because he sucked. Because not he sucked. His spooky stuff got corny because he never won. It was great. Oh my god, this spooky guy, and then he would lose all his fucking. He would lose every single match, every big match. Like, I meant in terms of he sucked as like he would lose all the time. It's great to be a spooky character. Win your fucking matches. Like they tried to make him an Undertaker, but he wasn't. And what sucks is he was so good on the mic. He was so good at making you care about who he was. Like, he was so good at that creepy persona. I just think, like, there were so many better ways to use a guy like Bray Wyatt. And I think you're right. The Swamp character was so much better. I will say, the Firefly Funhouse shit was really good. Was phenomenal. It was. It was all fucking fantastic. Like, his acting, his ability to, like, like, the multiple personality shit, which was kind of like Mankind, like, kind of like, Mick Foley, was fantastic. Still can't believe they had Goldberg squat. Unbelievably ridiculous. Jets should tank all year so they can get Arch Manning. The Jets should tank all year, but I don't know if they're going to get Arch. You're so tough on live stream with a bunch of teenagers. See, here you are again, Jameis. You're fucking soft, dude. I don't know. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, you're offended. You're the one who gets offended by everything. You got offended that I was talking about Denny Advia the other night. Oh, he's from Israel. Like, dude, like, grow up, man. You're somebody who just wants to be a victim. And they said, wait, they also had a no DQ in the Hell in a Cell? Oh, yeah. Didn't it end in disqualification or some shit? Like, what happened there? Like, what the fuck went on? There was something like, they ended up, like, calling the match for, I forget. Like, it's very weird. Like, the whole Bray Wyatt thing, they screwed everything up. He was so entertaining. He was so good on the mic. Like I said, I never really liked Bray Wyatt matches by any means, but they could have done a lot better with him. It seemed like the gimmick was so ass backwards for him losing all the time. Made no sense. Ref stopped the match after he thought Seth went too far. Yeah. The whole thing. The whole character was botched. It was a botched. The whole thing was botched. I don't know. And it's a shame. He died so early. I feel like they could have done so many better things with him, like I said. I just. He was so interesting. Like, him on the microphone, he could have been one of the greatest microphone talkers of all time. Like, in terms of, like, the way he, manipulated his voice, made everything creepy. It was great. And then the whole thing got with him getting burnt and coming back alive felt so ridiculous. Yeah. I don't know. Just, it always felt like the gimmicks were so bad. Everything about it was horrific. I can't believe Detroit's going to lose this series, honestly. Like, you would have thought they were like an NBA Finals contender. But no. They're dead. I'm trying to think what else with Bray Wyatt. Like, the Wyatt family was a good thing. Like I said, another thing with the Wyatt family, they had fucking, when Eric Rowan got squashed by fucking The Rock, they made them out to be a joke. They made them out to be a circus act. It was a cool, creepy gimmick that they completely botched. Ew. Dude, I can't believe how bad the Pistons are right now. Wow. They shouldn't have thrown the Fiend in the championship picture. Especially, like, I also think, didn't they get blindsided by the Goldberg shit, too? Like, I don't think Goldberg coming back was ever a plan. You could finish anywhere, just not the hair. Listen, if somebody wants to take you up on that offer 1.0, like, I'll let chat decide that. I'll let somebody in chat have that one. I'm going to stay out of it. I don't know. Like, all right, let's see what time we got. 10:53. I got a doctor's appointment at 7:30 tomorrow, so I'm gonna go to bed early. I might hop on a little shorts feed later and fuck around, but I'm gonna be gone for a few days, guys. I'll do some streams from the road, but I'm gonna end tonight. I will see you guys maybe in like 45 minutes.